Hi, and welcome to the training video on blotters, also known as a sales tracker. As you see before you is an Excel sheet, and there are several tabs along the bottom. The main tabs are going to be the blotters, and we have it broken down in advisory blotter, transaction, consulting services, insurance, and then we summarize them all at the end with a sales dashboard. The first tab is for leads. You can actually track leads in here, names you want to capture, people you want to talk to. If you find these people have opportunities, you can then transfer them to the opportunities page and talk about what their opportunity is, potential close date, the source, what stage it's in, and there's drop downs for all that information, next steps, and of course the dollar amount. Once an opportunity closes, when you close a sale, you need to document that into a blotter or blot that. If the sale or the new account is an advisory account such as Liberty One, so let's say you had a sale from Liberty One and you closed that sale yesterday, last night. Date received, you want to plug in the date the paperwork was actually signed. So in this case 4/14, and all you need is the month/date. You can hit tab, it'll fill in the year automatically for you. We're going to send that out today as we're going to process it within 24 hours. So today's date. Writing advisor, you just hit the drop down, and then for your office you'll have this populated with the correct names. We're going to choose Rep 1. And then for the servicing advisor, if you have a servicing team, you can have CSRs, or you can have the rep himself. We're going to choose CSR 1 here. If you work in a financial institution, you would choose the name of that financial institution. We're going to say the Trinell Financial Group wrote this business. The source. And this came from a networking group called Freedom One. Client last name, that's just free form. You type in the information. And you hit the tab keys to keep moving. You can also use the mouse and click in places, but I would suggest using the tab keys so you don't miss anything. Under registration, let's say Bruce opened up an IRA. Actually, let's say it was a rollover. And we're going to use Pershing as the company. The Money Concepts Agreement we're going to use is the GPS NB6, which is the Liberty One range at Pershing. And we're going to put this in the Tactical Income Solution. Actually, we'll put it in the Tactical Growth Solution because Bruce is young. Amount invested, let's say he did $150,000. We charge them the 2.5% upfront fee, which you can do with the Liberty One portfolios. There's no 12-month dollar cost averaging, so we put nothing in there, and we tab forward. So the commission or investment amount, fee-based amount equivalency is 150. I'll explain the DCA in a different video. Check number, there is none, so we're going to say transfer of asset. Account number, once we have that, we'll fill it in. Overnight tracking, same thing, we'll have it when we fill it in. This is new to us. This money is not money that is being reallocated or already on the books, so it's new money. So click New. Tab over. This is important here to put in the expected time frame. With rollovers, they could take 30 to 90 days. We're going to say 45 days. And then we know to expect that to close and the commissions to go through at the end of May 30th at this one. Once we actually have it, it's important to put in the actual day here. This helps your bookkeeper or CFO figure out cash flow when money's coming in. And then that transaction is complete. Now this information here, the 150, will transfer to the sales dashboard. So if we go there, in this example here, April, we have 150 of new business. Our goal for the year is $15 million. Since this is hypothetical, we haven't put anything in here before, it just shows us that we need to be on track to hit our goal. We need to do $41,000 a day. $288,462 per week, or $3,750,000 per quarter. So we're just past the quarter mark, so we're 4.3 short with the 150. That brings us to 4.165 short. It shows up under advisory, so total advisory business for the year is 150. That shows up here. And then once we plug in some transactions and consulting amounts, they'll show up there as well. Next, we have the advisory blotter. So this is for commission-based business. I'm sorry, the transaction blotter. The transaction blotter is for commission-based business, such as an annuity sale. So let's say Bruce also wrote an annuity with us. So yesterday on 4/14, we processed the business today on 4/15. So the process here is the same. You go through and plug in the amount. I'm just going to say he rolled over $438,000 with us. And for it to count in the sales dashboard, the money has to be new. So our goals are always based on new money into the firm. So we hit new here. Now you need to make sure you go back and fill all this in here. So 4%. I'm skipping ahead for training purposes. Let's say he wrote a check. This is, maybe it was an IRA that he had, or I'm sorry, a CD he had at a bank that he wanted to get rid of. So check number is 4567. The advisor, again, is rep number 1. The servicing advisor is going to be the CSR number 1. And we're still writing this under the financial institution, the appropriate financial institution. The source, Bruce, came from Freedom One Networking. We're going to plug in his name again. Once I have his name plugged in, I go back to registration. This registration is going to be a non-qualified annuity. So NQ, or tax deferred. Company, let's see, he wrote this with MetLife. And the product he chose is the Freedom Portfolio. Now, if you have pre-built models for annuities, you can plug that in here. Let's just say we're going to use the model B, which we refer to in our office as the balance model. The amount we plugged in, we'll tab through here, see if we miss anything. We're not going to use the dollar cost averaging. Account number and overnight tracking we don't have yet. It's new. Since it's a check, we're going to assume this will go through in about 15 days. So at the end of April, we can expect that. And once we actually get it, we'll plug it in there. That is now complete. We go to the sales dashboard and we see that 438 show up there. So far for the month, we've written 588 in total new business. There's also the consulting services blotter. This is where you'd plug in E360 sales. Insurance, this is where you'd plug in life insurance. And then if you have multiple reps, you can go to a company dashboard where it pulls in multiple reps information. And then once you've been using this for a while, you can actually compare year-over-year data in this section here. So that's a quick look at the blotter and how it works. Essentially, you start at the beginning on the left-hand side, plug in the information, tab to the right, and then your information shows up in the sales dashboard. Thank you, and good selling.